I always thought paranoia was something that happened to other people, the kind of thing you read in late-night Reddit threads or hear about in true crime documentaries. But the day my phone buzzed at work with a motion alert from inside my empty apartment, and I watched a strange man walk straight into my bedroom like he'd done it 100 times before, that was the moment I realized I hadn't been living alone for a very, very long time. Let me start from the beginning. I live alone. Not the glamorous kind of alone with city lights and a minimalist apartment that always smells faintly of expensive candles. No, more like the small, one-bedroom, slightly peeling paint. I dash work dash 12 dash hour dash shifts dash to dash afford dash this kind of alone. It's the type of apartment where every corner feels familiar because you've seen it 1,000 times. Where every creak in the floorboards is a sound you could recognize in your sleep, which is why, when things started to feel off, I noticed. At first, it was just tiny things I scolded myself for even paying attention to. The kitchen sponge would be wet when I hadn't used it. The shower floor damp, even though I always showered at night religiously like a ritual. A cereal box moved just slightly to the left, like someone had nudged it while reaching for something else, and the toilet seat, my toilet seat, would be up. I remember staring at it once for a full 10 seconds, trying to mentally reconstruct my morning routine. Had I rushed? Had I bumped it somehow? Was I losing it? Eventually, I told myself what everyone tells themselves when the mind starts playing tricks. You're tired, overworked, don't be dramatic. And for a while, that explanation held. Until the day it didn't. It was a weekday, the kind where the inside of your skull feels like someone stuffed it with damp cotton. A migraine had slammed into me at work, stabbing behind my eyes, and I left early around 1 in the afternoon. The apartment was quiet when I walked in, still, too still. I tossed my bag on the couch, rubbed my temples, and headed to my bedroom to collapse, and froze. My closet door was open, wide open. Now listen. Everyone has their quirks. Some people triple-check the stove. Some jiggle the front door 5 times. Me? I always close and double-check the closet, a lifetime habit. The kind that burrows deep. So seeing it gaping open like a dark mouth made my breath lock in my chest. I remember the strange sensation of my heartbeat shifting from the center of my rib cage to somewhere in my throat, like something wanted out. I searched every inch of the apartment under the bed, behind the shower curtain, even inside the hallway cabinet that only fits towels. Nobody, nothing. Just an unsettled feeling that clung to the walls long after I tried to shake it off. That night, sleep refused to come. My brain replayed the open closet door again and again, each loop worse than the one before. And so I bought a camera. A tiny, cheap, motion-activated thing off Amazon. 1-day shipping, I tucked it inside a fake plant on top of my fridge. From that angle, it could see the kitchen, the hallway, the living room doorway. Basically the entire route someone would take if they were sneaking around. I went to work the next morning, pretending everything was normal. It wasn't. Around 2 p.m., my phone buzzed. Motion detected. I swear, my stomach fell so fast it felt like gravity gave up. I ducked into a bathroom stall, locked it, and opened the app. At first, the footage looked still, empty kitchen. Same boring tile floor. And then a shadow crossed the hallway, slow, confident. A second later, a man hoodie up, head down, stepped into frame. My brain couldn't process it. He didn't look startled or hurried. He wasn't creeping or sneaking. If anything, he looked comfortable, like he belonged there. Like he was stretching his legs in his own home. He walked straight to my fridge, opened it, took out my orange juice, sniffed it, made a disgusted face, and put it back. He judged my orange juice in my own home. Then he opened the cutlery drawer, picked up a fork, examined it like he was rating it, shook his head and put it down in a completely different spot. Who does that? What kind of intruder reorganizes your silverware? Then he walked down the hallway toward my bedroom. And because the camera didn't point that far, he simply disappeared from the frame. He never came back out. Not on camera, anyway. I left work so fast I don't remember the drive home. My hands were shaking so violently on the steering wheel that I had to keep wiping my palms against my jeans. I called my best friend on the way, whispering like the walls of my car might be listening. When I got home, everything looked completely normal. Except the fork drawer. He'd moved one fork, and that tiny detail made everything horrifyingly real. I printed the footage and went straight to my landlord. He watched the video in silence, once, twice, a third time. With each replay, his face drained a little more. Finally, he murmured, "I know who that is." My heart stopped. But when I begged him for details, he brushed me off. "It's being handled," he said, as if that was supposed to reassure me. I demanded the locks be changed immediately. He didn't argue, he didn't hesitate, he did it within the hour. That alone terrified me. People don't move that fast unless they already know there's a fire. I thought things would get better after that, that the new locks would be enough to put my paranoia to rest. But that night around 11, as I lay in bed wide awake, counting the seconds between each click of the wall clock, I heard footsteps. Above me, slow, heavy, deliberate. There is no apartment above mine. Just a storage attic. A locked storage attic. A space only the landlord had the key to. The footsteps paced, stopped, shifted weight, moved again. I lay frozen under my blanket, staring at the ceiling like it might peel back and reveal a pair of eyes staring down at me. The next morning, I confronted the landlord again. He refused to look at me when he said, "You must have imagined it, like the camera footage, the footprints I thought I heard, the open closet." Everything was suddenly imagined. After that, I bought more cameras. 2 of them, one for the living room, one for the hallway, angled toward the attic hatch. Since the day the locks were changed, nobody has shown up on camera, no motion detected. No shadows, no mysterious footsteps, but sometimes, when I come home late from work, I swear I can smell someone else's cologne lingering in the air. Not mine, not a brand I recognize. Something musky, sharp, like a stranger brushing past you in a crowded elevator. I don't know what scares me more, that someone was living in my apartment while I was gone, or that the landlord knew and still won't tell me who. In the days after everything calmed down, I expected relief to wash over me. I expected to feel safe again. But safety doesn't return the way you think it does. It doesn't arrive like a locked door or a new camera. It comes in pieces, small, fragile, unpredictable pieces. And sometimes it never fully returns. The landlord's sudden silence, the way he refused to even meet my eyes afterward, that told me more than any explanation could. Someone had been there, not once, not twice, but enough times to walk around like they knew the place, like they knew me. I didn't get revenge in the dramatic sense. There was no confrontation with the intruder, no big reveal of who he was or why he'd chosen my apartment, but I did take back control. I documented everything, made digital and physical copies of the footage, filed a report, told neighbors, told friends, told everyone who would listen. Because silence is what lets people like that slip through cracks. And I wasn't going to be silent anymore. My revenge was forcing the truth into daylight, making sure there was a record, a trail, a warning that whatever was happening in that building wasn't staying hidden anymore. And whether the landlord liked it or not, I made it clear I wasn't afraid to expose the whole thing if anything else happened. The cameras are still up. The locks are still new. But the smell of that stranger's cologne? That's the part that lingers. If there's one thing I learned from all this, it's simple. Your instincts are rarely wrong. When something feels off, it probably is. Trust that little voice in your head, the one that whispers to double-check the lock, the one that tells you a closet door shouldn't be open. It might just save you. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe for more stories where justice, mystery, and real-life horror collide. And tell me in the comments, what's the strangest thing that's ever happened in your home? I'll be reading them. With all the lights on,